Hi there, welcome to Painting Queer History, where I draw portraits of historical figures while telling you about their lives. This episode we'll be talking about Storme DeLarverie. Before I get too far into this video, I would like to state for the record that when Storme DeLarverie was asked if they prefer he or she pronouns, her reply was whatever makes you feel most comfortable. DeLarverie has referred to himself as a woman, and acquaintances said she chose to live life as a black man but not identify as anything. Pronouns that have been used by people who knew them have used he, she, and they pronouns. In her writings, DeLarverie said, quote, "Women and men think pretty much the same. I hear both sides of the story, for I am one and I mimic the other," end quote. Born in Louisiana, her father was a wealthy white man and her mother his family's black servant. DeLarverie never knew her actual birthday and treated Christmas Eve 1920 as it, but they may have been younger. A biracial child when interracial marriage was illegal, she was raised by her grandfather and was bullied both by the white children and the black children. Throughout her life, she would hold a number of jobs. As a teenager, DeLarverie would join the circus, jumping horses until they broke a few bones and stopped. Other professions they would hold later in life would be an MC, the frontman singer of multiple bands, a bouncer, drag king, and bodyguard. Though it should be noted that she considered bodyguard to be closer to babysitting. Around 18 years old, DeLarverie realized that she was gay, but this wasn't exactly a safe time to be out of the closet, and the term gay was not the term that would have been used. After leaving the circus, she would eventually make her way to New York City, and starting in 1939, as an approximately 19-year-old androgynous person who could pass as black or white, DeLarverie was a big band singer. DeLarverie's androgyny and racial ambiguous appearance resulted in many unsafe situations throughout their life. She was arrested and harassed by police both for appearing like a woman and for appearing like a man. Throughout their life, DeLarverie would be attacked for being black and for being white. The world did not care for someone who defied strict categories. At the same time, their masculine appearance would allow them to defend others in the future. From 1955 to 1969, DeLarverie was a singer, drag king, and MC of The Jewel Box. This show was the U.S.'s first racially integrated drag show, performed for some racially integrated crowds depending on the location, and played the Apollo Theater regularly. The Jewel Box show liked to advertise as being 25 men and 1 girl, where DeLarverie was the surprise girl in its traveling cabaret show. She worked as the show's MC, and one of the final song and dance numbers was called A Surprise with a Song, where DeLarverie would draw attention to himself in his well-tailored suit and remove the mustache that he occasionally wore and reveal that DeLarverie as the MC was the secret girl the entire show. This was at a time when drag kings were rare and at the time referred to as male impersonators. Today, drag kings are becoming slightly more common and gaining more mainstream attention. I believe that 2025 was the first year that we had a drag king reality TV show. Storme DeLarverie is perhaps best known to modern audiences for her involvement in the Stonewall Uprising. DeLarverie is on record as saying, quote, "It was a rebellion. It was an uprising. It was a civil rights disobedience. It wasn't no damn riot," end quote. I'll probably eventually make a separate video giving more detailed account of Stonewall, how private clubs and liquor licenses played into the culture, police targeting practices, blackmailing, organized crime, and how the U.S. and global history intertwined in the late 1960s, but for now I'll give a short account of Stonewall as it played out into DeLarverie's history. When people talk about Stonewall, they are referring to the early morning of June 28, 1969. The police raid was atypical as inn owners weren't warned and it occurred at prime time late night on a Friday. There are conflicting reports as to the exact events as there was a lot going on simultaneously and it's hard to determine exactly which police interaction during the raid triggered the rebellion. But DeLarverie was hit by the police in the bar, handcuffed, and taken roughly towards a police wagon for being butch. DeLarverie claims to be the woman who shouted, quote, "Why don't you guys do something?" end quote, while being arrested and encouraging people to fight back. Many people remember butch lesbians fighting back while still in the bar before the fight spilled into the street. DeLarverie was bloodied before even leaving the building, and allegedly they were the women to fight their way out of the police wagon. Nowadays, you will hear DeLarverie being described as throwing the first punch, as decades towards later in life she would claim that title. In the 1970s, their partner of 25 years, Diana, died, and allegedly DeLarverie would always carry a photo of her with them. DeLarverie would go on to become a member of Stonewall's Veterans Association, at different points being the chief of security, the vice president, and an ambassador. Socially, she was known to adopt young gays and lesbians, providing them with family. In the 1980s and 1990s, they would work as a bouncer for lesbian bars in New York City, and even into their 80s, DeLarverie was known to be armed with a gun and patrol local lesbian bars to try to keep her baby girls safe from abuse and bullying as the guardian of lesbians in the village, outside of their regular bouncer duties. Her protective nature was more than just for the queer community, as she regularly organized benefits for battered women and children. Towards the end of their life, DeLarverie suffered from dementia and had no one who could legally make healthcare decisions for them. They were assigned a court-appointed guardian, the Jewish Association for Service for the Aged. Initially placed in a hospital to examine her health, the hospital would go bankrupt and they were placed in a nursing home by 2010 after living in Hotel Chelsea for decades. SAGE, an advocacy group for elderly LGBT, helped Lisa Canastresi become one of their legal guardians. DeLarverie would die in 2014, believed to be 93 years old. There were a couple documentaries made about their life. Storme in 2010 and Storme, Lady of the Jewel Box in 1987. Diane Arbus's photographs of DeLarverie's androgynous appearance were featured in multiple art retrospectives, including at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Please comment to let me know if you have any other interesting facts about DeLarverie, or if there is a figure in LGBTQ+ history that you'd like me to cover. If you want to see more of this series, then I'd recommend subscribing so you can see them as they come out. Best wishes! Bye!